Hello and welcome to Jackie Robinson Memorial Field here in Pasadena. We apologize for our technical difficulties in getting started, but we are here. We should, I believe, be live. Riley Horn joined alongside Max Langer tonight for the action between the visiting San Diego Bombers, the home Arroyo Seco Saints. We're here with two down in the top of the first. A runner on second base, that's Dylan Martin after he led off the game with a single. Then a Jet Grosser flyout and a Gianluca Finelli ground out right back to the pitcher. Edwin Segovia on the mound starting things off for Arroyo Seco. As now up steps the cleanoff man Jeremy Jones. Batting in the 5-hole Aiden Harrison, 6-hole Jackson Summers, 7th Gannon Dwyer, 8th Dylan Towning, and rounding things out in the 9-hole for the San Diego Bombers is Isaac Castanon against Edwin Segovia on the mound for Arroyo Seco.
Yeah, great to be with you here, Riley. Segovia, he's an Azusa Pacific guy. First start came last week. Great to be with you here again. Apologies for any technical difficulties. Saints looking to rebound and snap a 3-game losing streak as they face the 1-7 Bombers, who have really struggled. Not a franchise CCL team, haven't played in 9 days, so a good opportunity for the Saints to get their get back and get on the right track here.
1-1 now to Jeremy Jones, the right fielder. Defensive arrangement for Arroyo Seco tonight. Left to right in the outfield, Carson Panarisi, Evan Reeder, Cannon King. Around the horn on the infield, Owen Mangini in the hot corner, Dylan Immel, Bryce Robinette, the men up the middle. Zach Light with the trap over at first base. Nick Nishiwa doing the catching to complete the battery with Edwin Segovia, who delivers the 1-1 pitch that is swung on and missed to Jones.
Yeah, about 40%, maybe a little more through the season. Only a couple of weeks, even less until the All-Star game. That's actually a week from Saturday in Reno. So Braden Flores, who's DHing tonight, is almost certainly headed there, but a good opportunity over the next week as the Saints will face some lesser competition.
Lifted to left field, Panarisi taking a couple steps and makes the grab to retire the side. That ends the top of the first. Going scoreless as the San Diego Bombers will head to the bottom half here on the Saints streaming network.
Bullets may fly round, but I lay down. I feel safe and sound on solid ground.
Okay, yeah. They can't hold me. All that pressure weighing on my brain. I confess I front like I don't feel a thing. Still ain't maintained, running from the old me. Every time I drop a tune, they try to tell me. 4 stars, they don't wanna see none. Tryna beat one, that might get you beast on. Lie without, that's when the fleas come.
Back here in Pasadena once again. Apologies for the technical difficulties in getting started here on our live stream, but we should be live up and running as we approach the bottom half of the first. Riley Horn joined alongside Max Langer for tonight's action. And Max, we didn't really get a traditional intro segment, so we're going to use this downtime to kind of talk about what's at stake for today. Both these teams on some losing streaks and looking for wins as we approach the All-Star break.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the Bombers, their losing streak, obviously they've only won one game. That game 2 weeks ago today at Academy. The Bombers don't have a home field. They play all of their games on the road as a non-franchise CCL team. And haven't played again. I mentioned it in the top of the first in 9 days. That's when the starting pitcher on the mound for the Bombers tonight last pitched against the Foresters on June 14th. So, again, good opportunity for both these teams. The Saints are right there in striking distance of Conejo Academy, who they'll see on the road tomorrow. And, again, so much of who's going to make it into the playoffs comes down to these head-to-head matchups that we'll see over the next month or so.
Yeah, right around the corner from the All-Star break, and both teams looking for wins. For the Bombers, it's more of just winning for the sake of winning with a 1-7 record. But for Arroyo Seco, they're looking to climb the standings. They currently sit 5th in the CCL South and are not in the playoff picture as of right now, but there's still a lot of season left to go. We're not even halfway there. So they're going to look to get back into that win column and get things started. And they're going to look to do so, get on the board first here in the bottom of the first. Braden Flores leading things off as the designated hitter tonight, followed up by Carson Panarisi and Zach Light. Cannon King batting cleanup. Evan Ryder fifth with Owen Mangini sixth. Rounding out the back third is Dylan Immel, Bryce Robinette, and Nick Nishiwa, the starting 9 offensively for Arroyo Seco. Against the starting pitcher for the Bombers, Sage Nelson, who gets a pop-up out of Braden Flores into right center field, putting it away Jackson Summers for out number 1.
Yeah, third start on the year, second start on the year for Nelson. Again, last pitched, oh no, I'm looking at the wrong thing. This is the third start on the year for Nelson. 5 innings so far, only 2 runs. So for a Bombers team that has struggled to both score and prevent runs, this is a guy who they're going to really turn to on the mound here to keep this game close. And again, haven't played a game in 9 days, so the Bombers can really push all of the buttons here to try to get their second win of the season.
1-0 to Carson Panarisi after the Braden Flores fly out on Sage Nelson. Got the start on opening night for the Bombers all the way back on June 2nd at the Orange County Riptide down at the Great Park in Irvine. Went a pretty clean 2 innings, gave up 3 hits but no runs and 3 strikeouts as well. Now looking to have a similar outing here against Arroyo Seco, who's looking to get on the board first after surrendering none in the top half of the first, which is sort of a rare feat for Arroyo Seco so far this year. As in 11 of 13 of the games so far for the Saints, they've allowed a run in the first inning. 8 of those 9 losses on the season, they've allowed a run in the first inning. And when they score first, they're 1-0 on the season. So it's pretty strong so far when the pitching side does well in the first few frames, and the offense backs that up as that one kicks off the glove of the third baseman, Jet Grossert. And reaching on the air is Carson Panarisi.
Yeah, chopper there. I think Grosser kind of waited for the ball to come to him and let it eat his glove up. What you're taught is to get down in front of the ball and pounce on the ball like you're going after it. And that time the ball kind of found Grosser, and by the time he was able to re-grip it after the error, too late to get Panarisi down to first.
So 1 runner on base for Arroyo Seco. 1 runner reached base last half inning for the Bombers, but he was left stranded. Now Zach Light with 1 out and a runner on first digs in. First fastball missing outside out of the hand of Nelson. That one's in there for a called strike. 1-1 out to Light. Batting third tonight for Arroyo Seco at the first base position. He's been finding a lot of action here in the, what I guess you could call the second half of the season we've had so far. Not necessarily getting too much action in the first couple of games, but in the last handful he's seeing himself in the lineup almost every night as that one's a little off the outer edge.
Yeah, has kind of taken over a little bit for Sean Asperger, who got a lot of the starts at first base to begin the year. Now it's Zach Light, like you mentioned, and he's been really good. He's got a lot of thunder in that bat. The Saints in the middle of their lineup in Light and King at 3 and 4 today. Those are guys who have a ton of power.
2-1 pitch, runner goes, swatted down the line, but tailing away, fouling out of play. 2-2. Panarisi on the move over at first base. Looking to likely try and break up a double play. But Light now with 2 strikes on him goes into defensive swing mode, more likely to hit a ground ball. We'll see if Panarisi gets on the move again. Does go. Pitch is a little outside. Throw down to second in plenty of time to gun down Panarisi. He's caught stealing for out number 2.
Yeah, really good throw behind the plate from the catcher Towning. Again, to the left of the second base bag so that Dylan Martin covering the base does not have to bring the glove around. He can just catch the ball and tag the runner, and they got Panarisi by, you said it, a mile there at second base. So now 2 out and nobody on.
Full count pitch to Light. He fouls it off, and we'll do it again. So far this season, the Arroyo Seco Saints and the San Diego Bombers have already played once, and after tonight they will play 2 more times for a total of 4 times here in this 2026 summer. Saints so far 1-0 after getting a 16-9 win back on June 7th. Looking to have similar success here tonight as the payoff pitch is delivered to Light. It's down below the knees, 4-4.
Yeah, that 16-9 win was one of their more impressive wins of the year. I think it was the win, that win in specific, that really convinced the Saints that they're never out of a game. And despite being 4-9, they have proven over the course of the year that they are never out of the game. In that particular game, a couple of weeks ago or so, they were down 9-2 entering the 4th inning. And you said 16-9 win. They scored 14 unanswered against Bombers pitching. Extra base hits, walks all over the place. They were doing everything right at the plate. And I think it was the game that really got it into their heads as a team mentality that they can come back from any deficit.
Now up steps Cannon King, first pitch missing low. Yeah, you mentioned it. It was all Bombers offensively in the first half of that one. They put up 4 runs in the first inning and then 5 runs in the 3rd inning did the Bombers, but then it was all Saints come the back half. 4 runs in the 5th inning for the Saints and 6 runs in the 6th inning helped propel them all the way up as that one's lifted into left center, shading over Fanelli, and he makes the grab to retire the side. Scoreless first frame here in Pasadena. We'll head to second here on the Saints streaming network.
We're just getting a little warm-up toss in. Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Central Michigan, wow. What a lucky place to have you. God, I wish I could have you all the time. What do we have over here? Pitchers, boring. Screaming. Yeah, there you go. You guys need he can hear it from a mile away. He's got dog-like ears.
Easy smooth.
Easy smooth. 808 boys. Represent. Yeah.
Gotta get one.
Shout out, homies right here. Shout out, homies right here, getting us right, making sure we're in the game every day, getting our uniforms right. Thank you so much. What are you looking at, Keon?
Easy smooth. Easy smooth.
Easy smooth.
TV off, turn his TV off. Turn his TV off.
Aiden Harrison, Jackson Summers, Gannon Dwyer, the 3 up. Come the 2nd inning here in Pasadena with the San Diego Bombers taking on the Arroyo Seco Saints. Scoreless so far, which is not something that we see too often here in Pasadena, going scoreless to the 2nd inning. But Edwin Segovia doing a good job on the mound so far through just 1 inning pitched, giving up just 1 hit and nothing else besides that. Called strike, 1-1 count now to Aiden Harrison, heading into his junior season at Long Beach State, right here in Southern California. Infielder playing second base tonight, 6'1", 205 pounds. As he chops one over to third, way over the head of Owen Mangini into left field for a base hit.
Yeah, that one is called a Baltimore chop. He hit the ball so hard into the ground so soon that it pops up in the air, and over at third, unable to make the play Mangini. So tough luck for the Saints. Segovia got the ground ball, but unable to get the out.
Now down to Jackson Summers, batting .263 this summer with 2 RBIs, 3 runs scored himself, with a runner on first and nobody out. Segovia, first pitch, in there for a called strike to Summers. Big off attempt, back in safely is Harrison. 5 hits so far this summer for Summers, very fitting last name to be playing summer ball with. Spelled the exact same way as well, S-U-M-M-E-R-S. As this one's pulled on the ground to third, 5-4, over to 3, but not in time to get the second out. They get the lead out in Aiden Harrison at second, and the fielder's choice allows Jackson Summers to reach first.
And it's actually going to be a double play interference call on second base on the slide by Aiden Harrison. We saw an interference call burn the Saints maybe about 5 days ago at second base. This one helps them, and it was a really close play at first base. So the interference definitely coming into play there. Even a half second, a quarter second more, maybe would have reversed the call at first base. So Saints catch a break after the Bombers got a break on the bouncer over third, and now 2 out and nobody on.
So the interference call allows the Saints to go around the horn and get the double play to bring up Gannon Dwyer, the first baseman tonight for the Bombers. He takes a hack and fouls it off. It's 1-1. That one missing low. Taking a chunk out of the dirt, but Nishiwa knocks it down. Dwyer batting .273 this summer. Hits one on the ground. Great play at second by Robinette, who gets up and takes it over to first for out number 3. Stylish play to retire the side. Facing the minimum is Segovia, and we'll head to the bottom of the second here on the Saints Streaming Network.
Today we're going to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena to see if anybody's coming to the Saints game tonight.
You guys like baseball? Well, we have a game over there. They're Royal Seco Saints for Pasadena. It's at Jackie Robinson Memorial Field. Come and watch it at 6 p.m.
Thank you. Baseball, yeah, sure. Yeah. A baseball game, Arroyo Seco.
Yeah!
Where's that?
Jackie Robinson Field.
Oh, I know where that.
So you like baseball?
Nah, not really. I'm just bringing it. I'll be honest with you.
You guys are big?
A baseball game?
Yeah. We got a baseball game happening at the Jackie Robinson Field at 4:30.
Yeah, we'll come out for sure.
For sure, okay.
We'll be there. We'll be there.
Yeah,
We'll
go Saints, go
We're going that
Saints.
way.
Evan Ryder, Owen Mangini, Dylan Immel looking to get on the board first as we're scoreless midway through 2. Riley Horn joined alongside Max Langer, and on behalf of our broadcast producer Luke Saruma, we thank you for tuning in. Once again, thank you for your patience in our delays getting the live stream up, but we are live from here in Pasadena as we head to the bottom of the second.
Well, I said the term Baltimore chop last inning. I'd just like to inform our listeners and viewers where that term is from. It was popularized by the Orioles in the dead ball era back in the 1890s, and that was a team that was, you know, very famous for their small ball, getting a runner on, advancing him to second, getting him in. That kind of play in modern baseball has kind of gone away a little bit. Honestly, I want to know your thoughts, Riley, as a former player, but I think a lot of teams could still be using a type of small ball method and be more successful than what is, now just swinging for the fences.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's definitely something to be said about the small ball approach, and that was an approach used very often by the school that I just came from in St. Mary's College, who had a really strong baseball team this year, made a deep run into the playoffs, knocked out the number one nationally ranked, UCLA Bruins, the Los Angeles Regional, as Ryder goes down swinging. And the Gales really used a small ball approach, and it led to so much success offensively. They had the third best offense in the country in both hits and batting average as a team. And I think that small ball approach had so much to do with it because, while you are laying down sacrifice bunts, you're giving better situations and opportunities for those hitters behind you. And like you mentioned, it's just not something that's really seen in baseball nowadays. And it's, really nice when you do get to see that type of thing. And it's especially not really something that you see so much in summer ball as often, since summer ball is less about, trying to win and, trying to, go deep into a playoff run, quote unquote, win a championship. Obviously, all these summer ball teams would like to do that, but it's more so about getting guys action,
right?
Getting guys in the portal to find a new home, getting guys, as many reps as they can to go back to their collegiate programs as strong as possible.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. I think there's also something to be said for just putting the ball in play with small ball bat-to-ball ability that a lot of these teams have. And, again, in this game, we've already seen a couple of miscues, so to speak, in the field, and that is oftentimes what you can get as a result of going small ball instead of, swinging for the fences. I think there's a reason that we've seen players like, for example, Joey Gallo kind of fade out of the game, these 40-homer guys who hit 180 because they just don't work in modern baseball anymore.
That one's put through the 5-6 hole by Owen Mangini, 1 out base hit.
Yeah, good swing from Mangini. Fastball off the plate, goes out and get it. And, again, pulls it on the left side, so Nelson does his job. But Mangini, the BABIP gods honoring him, and a ground ball right through the left side.
So up steps Dylan Immel with 1 gone and 1 base runner here in the bottom of the second. Scoreless so far in this one as the Saints look to strike first. First pitch to Immel, low and outside as count goes 1-0. Immel, the incoming senior in the portal as of right now, looking for a new home from El Segundo, California, his hometown. Left-handed hitter, right-handed throwing infielder, playing shortstop tonight for the Saints. That one spiked, runner taken off, throw down to second base in time. Despite an impressive swim move from Mangini, tag applied by Dylan Martin, and he's down caught stealing.
Well, that's the second time tonight that Dylan Towning has thrown out a runner at second base, and he has got an incredible arm. That ball bounced away from him, and he still had time to recover and throw it down. Now, Mangini and Panarisi, who threw it in the first, neither of them are extremely fast runners, but still a really impressive play and throw from the Bombers catcher.
Big loop and breaking ball in there for a called strike on the 2-0 count. Yeah, that ball spiked in the dirt. Mangini with a good read, saw it out of the hand, going low, and took off. But Towning, just an incredible recovery and incredible throw down to second base in order to get him erased off the base paths. 2-1 pitch back to the off speed for Nelson, and gets a swing and a miss from Immel.
Yeah, oftentimes when you see a runner going a ball in the dirt, the catcher won't even attempt to throw down. But Towning not only attempts it, he actually gets Mangini trying to swipe second.
2-2 count to Dylan Immel, batting .333 so far this summer with 3 knocked in and 4 runs scored himself. Just got to that double-digit hit mark with 10 so far this summer. He lifts this one into center field. Going back on it is Summers, and he makes the grab to retire the side. Nelson facing the minimum, 6 up, 6 down here in the second inning as we head to the third on the Saints streaming network.
Today we're going to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena to see if anybody's coming to the Saints game tonight.
You guys like baseball? Well, we have a game over there. They're Royal Seco Saints for Pasadena. It's at Jackie Robinson Memorial Field. Come and watch it at 6 p.m.
Thank you. Baseball, yeah, sure. A baseball game, Arroyo Seco.
Yeah!
Where's that?
Jackie Robinson Field.
Oh, I know where that.
So you like baseball?
Nah, not really. I'm just bringing it. I'll be honest with you.
You guys okay?
A baseball game?
Yeah. We got a baseball game happening at the Jackie Robinson Field at 4:30.
Yeah, we'll come out for sure.
For sure, okay.
We'll be there. We'll be there.
Yeah,
We'll
go
for sure.
Saints, go
We're going that
Saints.
way.
Scoreless through 2 so far here. The Arroyo Seco Saints, and the San Diego Bombers here on the Saints streaming network. As the 8-9-1 spots of the Bombers order step up in order to try and get them on the board first, which is something that the Saints offensively haven't really been able to do so far this season. Just one game so far through. Now 13, this being the 14th for the Saints. And only one of those games the Saints have got on the scoreboard first. His first pitch popping up is Dylan Towning to right field for out number 1.
Yeah, both teams have been pretty aggressive, swinging at pitches, going for second base. And for Segovia, it's really benefited him. Only 2 hits so far, and one of them was erased immediately after by the double play that Jackson Summers hit into. So good job for Segovia so far. Saints are looking for some more pitchers who can give them length into games. And Segovia, who's got really great stuff, being able to go further would be a big asset as we move into July.
Segovia only into the low 20s so far through now 2 1/3 innings. As gets an awkward swing and a miss from Isaac Castanon batting in the 9 hole as the designated hitters tonight for the Bombers. Takes another swing at a similar pitch and quickly 0-2.
Yeah, Segovia 5-pitch mix. He throws that 4-seamer 67, so 2/3 of the time. Changeup 21% of the time. And the other 3 pitches in his arsenal, cutter, slider, and sinker, only combined 12% of the time. So primarily a 2-pitch guy with the 4-seam and the changeup. And those are 2 pitches that out of the hand look really similar. So one of the reasons why Segovia is so effective on the mound.
1-2 offering, low and away. Count evens up at 2s. Castanon coming from Riverside City College. 2-2 down low. Works it full, does Castanon, going from 0-2 to 3-2. Castanon, 5'10", 185 pounds, originally from Rialto, California, going into a sophomore season at Riverside City College, that is, not UC Riverside. Full count, called, strike 3. Fastball at the top of the zone freezes Castanon for out number 2.
Yeah, first strikeout of the day for Segovia. And the pitch right there just broke right back towards the plate. And again, one time through the order, been really effective. Less than 30 pitches so far for Segovia. So he's on pace for the Maddox, a complete game shutout with less than 100 pitches.
Lineup card flips over. It's up to Dylan Martin, the shortstop at the top of the order for the Bombers. As first pitch catches the outside corner for strike 1. Martin in the leadoff spot, one of the really strong bats in the order for the Bombers. Came into today batting .368 and singled his first time up, so that only goes up from there. Now 8 for 20 as he pulls this one down the line and hooking foul. 8 for 20, according to my quick math. Is that a 400 average?
I believe it is.
I believe so. So batting 400 now on the summer is Martin. Coming from Claremont McKenna College, nearby here to Pasadena, and an 0-2 count against Edwin Segovia. This one's pulled down the first base line, just fouled by a couple of feet. We'll keep it 0-2.
Yeah, change up right over the heart of the plate, and Segovia, again, fortunate that wasn't a fair ball. Martin got the hands to it quickly, just a little bit out in front.
Martin, like we mentioned, now 8 for 20, 2 RBIs, 5 walks drawn, and 5 strikeouts so far this summer. So a pretty complete, well-rounded hitter in the leadoff spot for the Bombers, heading into his senior season at Claremont McKenna. That one's upstairs. Count goes 1-2.
Martin had a hit the last time these two teams met. Again, that was 16 days ago on June 7th. And today, 6/23, LeBron Day, actually. One of my favorite holidays of the year.
I can't say I celebrate that one as that one's popped up on the left side. 3 guys closing in. Mangini calling off and making the grab on the pop out to the third baseman. 1-2-3 inning for Edwin Segovia. He continues his groove as we head to the bottom of the third here on the Saints streaming network.
Baby, if I seem a little bit distracted, like I'm in another place and another time. Well, I apologize for the way I'm acting. I just got a lot of loving you on my ever since this morning, I've been wondering how you do that thing you did last night. Well,
Midway through 3 here in Pasadena, 8-9-1 for the Saints. Bryce Robinette, Nick Nishiwa, and then up to the top of the order, Braden Flores. I think as the designated hitter tonight, been one of the stronger bats in this Saints order, but we'll get to him in just a couple batters. For now, Bryce Robinette playing second base for the Saints.
Yeah, 2 base runners so far for Osaka, both erased by Dylan Towning behind the plate.
First pitch to Robinette, and that one's above the zone. Breaker didn't quite break enough to catch the top edge. Robinette ahead.
Yeah, Nelson is very similar to Segovia in the sense that he primarily only throws 2 pitches. Segovia, of course, the 4-seam and the changeup, and Nelson, the 4-seam and the curveball, as you see the curveball right there in for strike 1.
Yeah, and comes really over the top with that breaking pitch. 6'5" frame for Nelson. So when he gets that arm all the way up there, that's well into about 7.5 feet-ish off the ground. That one's fought off and out of play for strike 2. But when you include the height of the mound, that's a long ways for that ball to pop up a little bit and then drop down. So that's likely why he's favoring that breaking pitch so often as his number 1 off speed. He's ahead 1-2. Fastball. Once again, fought off, fouling out of play by Robinette.
Again, Bombers coming into this matchup at 1-7. Saints coming in at 4-9. And while this isn't a game that is against one of these head-to-head opponents that you're going to be going up against playoff spots for, you got to win these games against teams well below you. You know, we can't, in my opinion, give the Saints a pass for losing to teams like the Foresters and the Riptide, who are really good and up there, who they may likely see in the playoffs, even though Santa Barbara doesn't qualify for the CCL postseason. But if we're able to give them passes for losing to those teams, they have to go out and beat these lower-level teams like the Waves and the Bombers and even the Barons tomorrow on the road in Compton.
2-2 pitch. Back to the breaker, a little bit too far low. Count goes full. Yeah, as of right now, Saints with a 4-9 record at the bottom of the CCL South in terms of the 5 teams that qualify for the CCL playoffs. But if you include these affiliate teams as well, right behind them are the Bombers. So it's a neck-and-neck battle in terms of the standing board, as this one's hit to Dylan Martin at short, who goes across. High throw, but handling is Gannon Dwyer for out number 1. Again, Saints looking to crawl their way out of that bottom spot, tack on a couple wins before heading to the All-Star break, and then come the second half of the season, try and extend that win number all the way up, get themselves a playoff spot. As of right now, bottom of the CCL South, but in the CCL overall, they're tied with a 4-9 record with the Menlo Park Legends, only ahead of one team, that being the San Francisco Seagulls, who sit at 3-12 as of right now. Those are just the teams that qualify for the CCL playoffs, the full member teams, as opposed to a couple affiliates sprinkled in here and there.
Yeah, but the good thing is, as Yankees manager Aaron Boone would say, it's all right out in front of them.
Only one way to go from here. When you're at the bottom, can't go any further down. It's only up, and the Saints have really seemingly been able to figure out grooves and, you know, find what they need to win these ball games. It just hasn't always worked out in their favor. The count to Nick Nishiwa batting in the 9 hole as he takes a breaking pitch. It goes 3-0, and you know, to further elaborate on what I mean by the Saints have found what they need to win games, it just hasn't worked out for them. Flashback to a couple nights ago against the Santa Barbara Foresters. Saints would end up dropping that game despite what it seemed and what it felt to be outplaying the Foresters, out-hitting them by 1, less errors defensively. It just seemed like the Saints were in control of that game. Just the scoreboard showed a little bit otherwise. And, you know, if you can continue to have those games where things seem to be clicking both offensively and on the pitching side for Arroyo Seco, it's going to have that upward trajectory on the season.
Yeah, absolutely. As Nishiwa gets on base, 1-out walk, 4 pitches, not even close from Sage Nelson. I've been kind of using the loosely pulling the football away from Charlie Brown analogy, where they're so close and then right at the last second it's taken away from them. But again, they just need to keep going to these games. At some point, you would think, just the average of law of averages, whatever, that they will come up and win some of these games at some point. And they have done it again at the start of the year. But they're right there as we've got a check out on Sage Nelson on the mound.
Yeah, Sage seeming to be in a little bit of discomfort. Saints athletic trainer going to come out, have a quick conversation with him, see what's going on. Looks like the bullpen going to get up and moving for the Bombers. Seemingly they might make a change, but we'll hang on just a moment to confirm that. But, you know, even more so, you go back to the Saints' last time out just 2 nights ago against the Conejo Oaks. That one a really back-and-forth matchup. 7 lead changes throughout the night. It was neck and neck the entire game. Saints would end up dropping that one by just 1 run. As Sage Nelson is going to exit the game with a bit of an injury, so we'll have a new reliever coming in for the San Diego Bombers here in the bottom of the 3rd. We'll take a quick break and be right back. Stay with us here on the Saints Streaming Network. So Sage Nelson exits the game with some seemingly discomfort in his throwing arm. To kick it to the first arm out of the pen, Riley Plummer.
Yeah, 4th appearance on the year for Mr. Plummer. Last pitched 9 days ago against the Foresters in the Bombers' last game. He's allowed 2 earned runs on the year.
Runner goes, throw down to second base, a little bit short on a long hop, and up into second at base is Nick Nishiwa, and the lineup card up to the top of the order for Arroyo Seco. Braden Flores in a 1-0 count with a runner in scoring position. One thing I'll say about Riley Plummer on the mound is great name. Really strong name.
Yeah, I love Riley's. Other than you, of course, my favorite Riley's got to be Riley Poole from National Treasure.
That ball getting all the way to the backstop off the glove of Dylan Towning. Up to third base is Nick Nishiwa on the wild pitch. So now just 90 feet away from scoring with 1 out for the top of the order. Braden Flores looking to extend his team lead already in RBIs. And what a great movie.
Great
National
movie.
Treasure.
Who would have thought?
Quality.
Invisible treasure map on the back of the Declaration of Independence. Huh?
I'm still convinced that there might be something there in real life. Because why wouldn't there be? 2-0 way up and into Flores, ball 3.
Yeah, it's pretty good. In the second movie, there was the City of Gold inside Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore.
Yeah,
That's right.
that one I'm less convinced by.
Yeah.
But,
3-0, fouled off by Flores, 3-1.
yeah, Flores tied for third in the entire CCL in runs driven in, and he's got an opportunity here. Doesn't even need a hit, although the Bombers have pinched the corners of the infield in. A ground ball up the middle or a fly ball fairly deep into the outfield could get Nishiwa home, who's a speedy catcher.
3-1 in the air on the left side, and it's foul and out of play. Count goes full. Runner on third base with just 1 out for the top of the order, Braden Flores. You know, I just thought about National Treasure the other day when the UFC White House card was on, and Justin Gaethje, I believe is his name. He made his entrance out of the Oval Office and was staring at the Declaration of Independence before making his walkout, and it reminded me of the great movie National Treasures. That one swatted off by Flores. Will do the full count pitch again.
Yeah, that's the line right in front of there. But when a long train of abuses or something pursuing invariably the same object evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and provide new guards for their future security. And then he says, I'm going to steal it. I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence. Man, it sounds so ridiculous to say in real life.
Do you have all those lines memorized?
When I watch a movie, I just inherently memorize it for
That's
some reason.
impressive.
I've watched National Treasure probably 10 times in my life.
As well, but I couldn't quote it like that. That's impressive.
Yeah, I just,
That's impressive.
Although in that sense, I was more so quoting the actual Declaration of Independence than the movie itself.
Nice. So a full count walk to Braden Flores brings up Carson Panarisi. Runners on the corners, 1 out. Both base runners reaching via the base on balls. First pitch to Panarisi on the outer edge for strike 1.
I was in my 10th grade history class. I was talking about National Treasure, and I said that line for my teacher, and I was like, this is a quote from National Treasure. And then she was like, no, actually, this is a quote from the Declaration of Independence. And she wasn't pleased when I said that. So from that point on, I didn't bring up that movie for the entire rest of that year in my history class.
It's still pretty good, though. 0-1. Big hack from Panarisi, 0-2. Panarisi batting .310 coming into today. Reached on error his first time up, then was caught stealing for the second out of the first inning. 2 RBIs to his name so far this summer. Looking to make it more with runners on the corners and 1 gone. 0-2 pitch. Breaker low and away. Stopped behind the plate by Towning, who has been really strong in throwing out those runners, namely in Panarisi as well as Owen Mangini in the first and second innings respectively. But after a stolen base from Nick Nishiwa, Towning unable to gun him down, unable to get the third one in the third inning. And now Nishiwa standing on third base. Runner on first goes, swung on and missed for the strikeout So the Bombers are going to let Flores have second base and try and attack Zach Light with 2 gone.
Yeah, I think that was the smart play right there from Towning, not to throw down. Flores at the top of the lineup has a lot of speed. They would have had virtually no shot at getting him at second base, and already a positive result for the Bombers with the strikeout. And again, Saints have had multiple plate appearances now with a runner on third, only have scored once this year, as you brought up earlier. So really big if the Saints would not squander this opportunity to get on the board first here in Pasadena.
Chopper to the first baseman. It kicks off the tip of his glove and into right field. The Saints will get on the board first with 2 scored. After we'll await the official scoring, but either the single or the error for Zach Light.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that right there, an error on Dwyer at first base. Gannon Dwyer gets the glove down, and it was a similar play to what happened earlier at third base with Jet Grosser. Don't know if we were on the air for that one, but it was a ground ball right to him, and he kind of let the ball eat him up. A very similar thing happened there at first, and the Saints, the beneficiary of it, take a 2-0 lead in the third.
Official scoring is a reach on error by the first baseman Gannon Dwyer, but 2 runs score. They're unearned for the starting, one for the starting pitcher Sage Nelson, the other for Riley Plummer, the first arm out of the pen, as this one's lifted deep to right center field and gone. 2-run shot by Cannon King. Saints up by 4.
102 miles per hour off the bat for Cannon King, who has provided us a healthy dose of these big blasts here at Jackie Robinson Field. This one attacks the first pitch deep to right center, and a minute ago we were talking about the Saints potentially squandering an opportunity. Now they've put up a 4 spot in the third and lead the Bombers 4-0.
And again, we mentioned before, Saints only scoring the first run of the ballgame 1 time this summer, and they're 1-0 when doing so, an 8-3 win over the Riptide a handful of nights ago. 6th home run of the summer for Arroyo Seco as a team. With that 2-run blast from Cannon King. That's his 3rd on the summer, and it was a pretty good shot out to right center field. 2-0 count, taking a big hack at the elevated fastball is Evan Reeder. Fouled back into the screen on the 2-1. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases empty.
Well, you look back at that error now, and it seems extremely costly, not just the 2 runs, but would have ended the inning and kept the game tied going into the 4th inning. Now the Bombers coming up in the top of the 4th will face, at the very best, a 4-run deficit.
Fought off again by Reeder, so now the book is officially closed on the starter Sage Nelson, who exited the game with some discomfort in his throwing arm. Went 2 1/3 innings, gave up 1 hit and 1 unearned run with 2 walks and a strikeout. And Riley Plummer, the first arm out of the pen, giving up a couple more runs. This one shot right into center field. Handling it on the 1 hop is Jackson Summers. Another 2-out base hit for the Saints.
Yeah, and we do hope very much so that Sage Nelson is okay, as he was coming out of the field, kind of grimacing and grabbing the top of his right shoulder. Definitely not what you want to see. Shoulder injury for a pitcher is better than an arm injury, but not by a ton. So definitely hoping that Nelson is okay and can get back out on the mound soon.
Runner goes. Throw down in time to gun another runner down. 3rd runner thrown out by Dylan Towning, the catcher for the San Diego Bombers, and that will end the inning here. But 4 tacked on for Arroyo Seco. They lead by 4 as we head to the 4th inning here on the Saints Streaming Network.
Baby, if I seem a little bit distracted, like I'm in another place and another time. Well, I apologize for the way I'm acting. I just got a lot of loving you on my mind. Ever since there's a morning, I've been wondering how you do that thing you did last night. Well, let me tell
To the fourth inning we go with a 4-run lead for Arroyo Seco. Riley Horn alongside Max Langer. Max, here to take over the play-by-play duties.
Well, thank you very much, Riley. 4-0 Saints in the top of the fourth. All 4 runs for Arroyo Seco, unearned in the third, but they won't care. They'll take them either way. And for the second time this season, have scored first. 2, 3, 4 coming up for the Bombers. Grossert, Finelli, and Jones due up in the road half of the fourth inning. Grossert from Elkhorn, Nebraska. Swings at the 1-0 from Segovia and pops it foul back and out of play. Grossert came into this game with the highest average on the Bombers team, 429 in 14 at-bats. Flew out to left field in his first at-bat, so that average will have dipped down to about 400 or so. Now 2-1 on the Bombers' third baseman.
And like you mentioned, the 4 unearned runs, the first 2 scoring on an error by the Bombers' first baseman, the next 2 scoring on a home run. That next batter, after that first base runner reached on that error. And that error, had that play been made, would have been the third out of the inning. So therefore, Cannon King, the guy who hit the home run, getting his RBIs, but they're still unearned as that error allowed the inning to extend.
3 balls and a strike on Grossert, who watches the fastball sail outside, and Segovia issues the leadoff walk here in the fourth. So after the Saints put up a 4 spot in the third, Segovia does exactly what you don't want to do if you're a pitcher, and walks the first man he faces in the fourth.
Just the first walk surrendered by Segovia, but he's been looking really strong today. 3 innings so far, just 2 hits and a strikeout, that being his first walk surrendered. So if he can get a ball on the ground, get right back into this half inning, and then get his Saints back into the dugout, the things could look good in terms of a momentum swing.
First pitch swinging is Finelli, hits it to left center field. Coming over and not getting there is Panarisi. Grossert had to wait to see if it would drop. He'll stop at second on the single from Finelli. And after the walk to Grossert, Finelli first pitch swinging with a base hit to left center. And the Bombers are threatening in the fourth. 2 on and nobody out.
Yeah, so now with 2 runners on base for Segovia, it's going to be about bearing down. You have that 4-run lead, so you can allow a little bit of bend, but you definitely cannot break in this situation. You can exchange a run or two, for an out or 2, but besides that, you can't give up much more than that, so you got to go attack these hitters, get those outs when they're given to you.
Runners on first and second for Jeremy Jones. A local guy, Jones, comes from Porter Ranch, California, located in the greater Los Angeles area. Bombers offensively have not been as good as the rest of the CCL this year. In now 8+ games, they've scored only 35 runs, which in and of itself is not a terrible number. But when you look at what the top teams in the league have done, averaging 7, 8, 9 runs a game, the Bombers averaging around 3.7, just not going to cut it. This one's lined and picked at first base by Light. He will get the double play as he goes back to the bag to retire Finelli. Jones hit it right on the button, but right at the Saints' first baseman. And quickly, 2 gone in the 4th.
Yeah, huge break caught there by the Saints and Edwin Segovia on the mound. Ball really well struck off the bat of Jones. And unfortunately for him, right at Light, who gets the glove on it, then goes over to first. The smart play in that situation is he had the potential to try and go back to second to get the lead out, but you'd rather not risk that and take the easy one when you're given. Just like we mentioned, you can exchange a run for an out, but in this situation, no runs have yet to be scored, so you definitely take that double play there when you get it.
0-1 on Aiden Harrison, the second baseman for the Bombers, who has one of their 2 hits. He singled back in the second, but was immediately erased after Jackson Summers grounded into a double play on the first pitch. Harrison was called out at second base for interference. Crunches the changeup from Segovia foul, and it's 0-2. Harrison getting his first start or appearance of the year for the Bombers. He played at Regis University last year and announced his transfer to Long Beach about a month ago on his Twitter or X. I still call it Twitter. I don't know if I'll ever change to using X.
Yeah, it's still Twitter.
Weird thing is they're still called tweets even though it's X, so
all the more reason.
All the more reason. 0-2 on Harrison, who fouls it back to the screen. Saints put up a 4 spot in the bottom of the 3rd. It was a ground ball to first base that went off the glove of Gannon Dwyer to score 2 runs. And on the very next pitch, Cannon King unloaded, doubled the lead, and made it 4-0 Arroyo Seco. Only the second time this year that they have scored before their opponents. 3 of their 4 wins come back. Saints looking to pick up their 5th on the year. Fly ball, left center field. Panarisi on the run, back towards the warning track. It's off his glove. Throws back in towards third base. Harrison will stop at second with an RBI double, and in his first appearance of the year, he drives in a run. Grosser comes around to score on the double by Harrison, and it's now 4-1 Saints.
Yeah, just a good pitch left over the zone for Harrison to go smashing in an 0-2 count. It's really not what you're looking for Segovia. You'd rather get that one way out of the zone, try and get him to chase, go fish, and get a swing and a miss. But instead, it's left right over the heart of the plate, and Harrison capitalizes.
So after the Saints put up a 4 spot in the 3rd, Segovia unable to get the 0 as the Bombers respond with a run of their own here in the 4th. Now 4-1 with Harrison on second base for Jackson Summers, who's playing in his 7th CCL game. Grounded into a 5-4-3 double play with help with some interference back in the 2nd inning. Outside corner, 0-2.
Another 0-2 count here, back-to-back at-bats. And for Segovia, you got to learn from your mistakes from that last at-bat and get this one not in hitting any sort of hitting zone, whether that be in the strike zone or not. You can't allow Summers to get a bat on it.
Segovia fires an 0-2, and Summers watches the changeup in the dirt. Harrison straying towards third, then goes back to second base. Harrison now 2 for 2 on the day with the RBI in his first start of the year. So a welcome to the, I guess, CCL moment for him, not big leagues. Gannon Dwyer is on deck for the Bombers. Segovia's 1-2 is grounded to short. Immel's got it. And that's the inning. Close play at first. But the Bombers get on the board. RBI double from Aiden Harrison. And it's 4-1 Saints as we head to the home half of the fourth. Six, 7, 8 coming up for the Saints in the bottom of the fourth. They've got a 3-run lead, 4-1 over the San Diego Bombers. It's Mangini, Immel, and Robinette coming up for Arroyo Seco against Riley Plummer, who came in last inning to replace the injured Sage Nelson. On the righty's first pitch is a breaking ball inside, and it's 1-0.
And Mangini now getting a fresh at-bat. Started his at-bat an inning ago, but Evan Ryder caught stealing for the third out. Mangini was 1-0 in that count. Now gets a new one here.
Plummer, a 3-pitch guy. The slider, the four-seam, and the change. But the first two he throws 95% of the time. Mangini pops it up. Right side, Dwyer over towards the dugout, and he's got it for the first out of the inning. So 1 out and nobody on for Dylan Immel, who is at shortstop today. That moves Bryce Robinette over to second as Braden Flores getting the rare DH day. Aaron Milam getting him off his feet defensively, but can ill afford to keep his bat out of the lineup as Flores slots in at the leadoff spot. He walked and came around to score back in the third, did Flores. 1-0 on Dylan Immel. Now 2-0. Immel flew to left in his first at-bat back in the second inning. Another great day for baseball from Pasadena. It's been the hottest day so far this summer from a weather perspective, but as we inch closer to 7 o'clock, beautiful weather outside ball 4, and Immel works the 4-pitch walk, second 4-pitch walk of the game for the Saints. Nishiwa drew one in the third, and now Immel on here with 1 out in the fourth. Immel on first with 1 out for Robinette, who grounded to Dylan Martin in his first at-bat. A start and a stop at first base from Immel, as Plummer fires strike 1 to Robinette. Robinette's played this year at third base. He's played it short today at second. On an 0-1 from Plummer, Robinette takes the fastball for strike 2.
Good job bouncing back on the mound by Plummer. Falls behind 2-0 of Mangini, gets him to pop out, then issues a 4-pitch walk to Immel, now ahead 0-2. He's Going to look to hunt something down in the zone. Try not to get Robinette anything too good to hit. Try and induce a ground ball to turn a double play.
Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw down to second base, and not in time. Dylan Towning was this close to throwing out his 4th runner of the game, but in there with a head-first slide was Immel. Robinette is down via the strikeout, but Dylan Immel into scoring position now with 2 out for Nick Nishiwa. It's always tough going back to Plummer when you have to replace a guy who's injured. That's why they give you as long as you want to warm up on the mound, but again, certainly he's got a valid excuse for the 4 runs, all unearned, that the Saints got in that 3rd inning. Yeah, Bombers manager had to gesture to the dugout to get the bullpen going as Nelson exited the game suddenly. And it wasn't like he was showing any signs of being hurt really on the mound either. It just kind of cropped up. And the big 10 or 12 person conversion on the pitcher's mounds, and the decision was made to pull Sage Nelson. Now Plummer in his 2nd inning, 2 outs, and Immel at second base. And he's ahead 0-2 on Nick Nishiwa. Nishiwa was the last hitter that Nelson faced before he exited. And he walked on 4 pitches. Down 0-2. The Saints catcher swings and foul tipped and held on to by Towning behind the plate. Nishiwa goes down on K's. 2 strikeouts in a scoreless 4th for Riley Plummer. We head to the 5th. Still 4-1 Saints.
Baby, if I seem a little bit distracted, like I'm in another place and another time. Well, I apologize for the way I'm acting. I just got a lot of loving you on my mind. Ever since there's a morning, I've been wondering how you do that thing you did last night. Well, let me tell
Edwin Segovia is back out there for the 5th after allowing only 1 run over his first 4 innings on the mound. He'll face the bottom of the Bombers order, Gannon Dwyer, Dylan Towning, and Isaac Castanone, the 7-8-9 in the Bombers lineup. A 4-1 lead for Segovia, who has given the Saints and Aaron Milam the length they've been looking for. As we sit here on this Tuesday Eve, another meaningful sports event going on across the country. The NBA Draft happening right now in Brooklyn, New York at the Barclays Center. The first 3 picks pretty much chalked. Debansa, Peterson, Boozer. Swinging and lined to second for Robinette. Dwyer hit it right on the button, but right at Robinette, who got down into a crouch to make the play. It's the second Nice play that Robinette, maybe not quite as spectacular as his play back in the first inning, but gets Dwyer here, and the Bombers' first baseman is out number 1 of the 5th.
Yeah, Segovia continuing to work through this Bombers lineup. Just his first start on the summer here tonight. He's got one other appearance where he picked up the win, so he's got a 1-0 record with 4 innings pitched in that relief appearance against the Philippines baseball group back on the 16th. The Thriller.
Lined into right center field, a base hit off the bat of Towning. It will roll to the wall. Ryder will pick it up, and the catcher, Towning, will stop at second base, a 1-out double. And Towning, after throwing out 3 runners from behind the plate, has an extra base hit here in the 5th.
Yeah, doing it from both sides tonight is Towning. Throwing out base runners left and right and center on the defensive side. And here on the offensive side, smoking a double into the right center gap and putting himself into scoring position.
Towning playing in his 5th game this year. Came into the game hitting .231. That average will have gone up here. He's 1 for 2 after flying to right into third. Laces a 1-out double into right center field here in the 5th. And after the Bombers did not get a runner into scoring position in each of the first 3 innings against Segovia, they've done so in the last 2. The RBI double from Aiden Harrison providing the first run of the game for San Diego in the 4th, and they're threatening again here in the 5th. A runner on second base with 1 out for Isaac Castanone. Spin and a throw to second, and Segovia lobbed it in there as Immel had to jog/sprint back to the bag to keep the ball from going into center field. Castanone has played in all but one of the Bombers' games this year. He's got a .294 average coming into today. And in 24 at-bats this season, he's struck out 6 times. Ahead 2 balls and no strikes here against Segovia. Line to right center field. That one is caught on the run. Cannon King to his right makes the play. Fires back to second base. Not in time as Towning gets there. But hang a star on that one. Cannon King going into the gap in right center field. Picks off the line drive from Isaac Castanone for the 2nd out of the inning.
Yeah, that's a big out picked up there. That ball once again smoked off the bat to that right side. This time it hangs up enough for Cannon King to range all the way over on a dead sprint and make the grab. A huge job picking up his pitcher there.
King, who has marveled at the plate so far this season, and today as well, had the 2-run homer in the 3rd, and now makes a terrific defensive play in the top of the 5th. Segovia not out of the woods yet. 2 out and a runner on second base in Towning for the top of the lineup. Dylan Martin in his 3rd at-bat. Swings and fouls the first pitch back and out of play. It's 0-1.
Yeah, Dylan Martin, a good guy to have up for this situation in the Bombers. A guy who's had one of the more consistent summers up to this point, been one of the best bats, batting right around that 350 to 400 mark, doing a great job at the top of the order for the Bombers.
Swing and a miss at the changeup, and it's 0-2.
And that one just had Martin completely off balance, way out in front of it, threw his momentum towards that first base side and completely fell out of the swing. Segovia got to be feeling good on that one, but got to be careful, 0-2.
Martin in his 6th game so far for the Bombers. Came into the day with a .368 average and is 1 for 2. He's got a runner in scoring position here in Dylan Towning. On an 0-2, Martin chops it out in front of the plate. Nishiwa points. It's grabbed by Segovia. Cooley throws over to first base and gets Martin to end the inning. It's a scoreless 5th for Edwin Segovia, helped out by the running catch in right center from Cannon King. Halfway home here in Pasadena. Halfway done in this one. Saints on top of the Bombers 4-1, and they've got the top of the lineup coming up. Flores, Panarisi, Light, all for their third plate appearance of the game against a new pitcher for San Diego in Wyatt Thomas.
Yeah, 3 appearances so far this summer with an 0-1 record, 4 strikeouts in 5 innings. The ERA not quite where he wants it to be, a little bit over 14 with that ERA right now. But his 3 appearances have been against really strong offenses. 2 appearances against the Riptide, 1 against the Foresters, which are 2 of the top offenses, not only in the WCC South, but the CCL South, but in the CCL overall.
Breaking ball for strike 1 on Flores, who is 3rd in the CCL in runs driven in, tied for that with 15 RBIs on the year. Had an opportunity his last time up, but was patient and took the walk, and it paid off for the Saints, who put up a 4 spot in the bottom half of the 3rd. And a ball and a strike against Wyatt Thomas, who a 4-pitch guy, 4-seam slider, curve, and a change. Flores digs it out, sends it into right field. That's down, a base hit. Flores will make the wide turn and heads towards second as Jones has trouble getting it in. Throw to second base, not in time. Flores in safely with a belly flop double and an extra base hit for the Saints leadoff man to begin the 5th.
And getting aggressive to put himself in the scoring position early was Flores, rounding first right around the time that the right fielder Jeremy Jones was collecting the ball, and Flores willing to take that gamble, test the arm, and it paid off. He dives in safely, throw a little bit offline from Jones. So a great start for the Saints here, looking to get that 1 run back.
Well, Saints have been aggressive on the base pass so far today. They've attempted to steal 5 times. And although they've been caught stealing 3 times by Dylan Towning, no fear right there from Flores into second base to begin the 5th as Jones had trouble collecting it in the right field corner. So Panarisi, who is 0 for 2, although he did reach with the error back in the 1st, has a runner on second base in Flores. Saints would love to add on. Again, a 4-1 lead in the 5th. Ball kicks away from Towning. Flores taking off towards third, and he's in there safely. Great base running from Braden Flores. After getting into second base on a hustle double to begin the inning, he's got a great read on what will be probably ruled a wild pitch here from Thomas, and he's at third base with nobody out.
That one going down as a pass ball, kicking off the glove of Towning behind the dish, skipping away from him and allowing Flores to move up.
The official score, always my nemesis in the broadcast booth. Regardless, Flores scurries into third, and the Saints are poised to add on here in the 5th. A 3-run lead has been anything but safe for the Saints so far this season. Panarisi watches ball 4 and draws the walk. So back-to-back base runners to begin the inning for the Saints. They've got him at the corners with nobody out for Zach Lade, who's hit the ball hard twice, both times he's been up.
With runners on the corners, nobody out, we've seen Saints base runners be super aggressive so far tonight, and this situation is a good reason to be aggressive. You can put on some first and third plays, try some shenanigans out on the base paths, and try and score a run for free.
Runners pinched in at the corners for the Bombers for Light, who swings at the first pitch and lines a fair ball down the right field line. Into the corner it goes. Flores is in to score. Into second base. No, now heading for third is Light. Panarisi to the plate. He's in there. A 2-run triple off the bat of Zach Light, and the Saints do add on in the 5th. It's now 6-1 Arroyo Seco on the 3-base hit from Zach Light.
And forget about the first, third shenanigans. Trying to do so, or not trying to do so on the base paths, but doing so in the batter's box is Zach Light, roping a triple down the first base line. Saints extending upon their lead once again.
It looked like Light would have stopped at second for a second, but again, for the second time this inning, Jones couldn't come up with the ball cleanly, and Light grabbed the extra 90 feet as Panarisi came in to score as well. Strike 1 on Cannon King, who homered his last time up. King's got a great game so far. The 2-run shot and the spectacular defensive play in right center. Swings at the next pitch and grounds it to first. Dwyer will look Light back to third and take it to the bag for the out. An unproductive first out of the inning for the Saints as they failed to drive in Light, and now 1 out and a runner on third base for Evan Ryder. Ryder, who has played right and left for most of the season, finds himself in that third outfield spot today in center field. He's 1 for 2. Struck out in the second and singled in the third. Thought about the first pitch and laid off, 1-0. Saints with 2 in the bank here in the fifth, and the Bombers have brought the infield in. Ryder swings and misses at the 1-0. Or a foul tip, but still 1-1 the count on the Saints' 5-hole hitter. This one as close to a must-win as you can get for the Saints against the lowly Bombers. Nice block from Dylan Towning, who has certainly showed off his defensive skills behind the plate today. It's not just the runners he's thrown out. He's also made a couple of really nice blocks behind the dish to keep runners on base at bay. Fouled back, and it's 2-2. Ryder has slowly shifted down the Saints' order a little bit. After starting the year at the top of the lineup, he has given way most days to Flores and Panarisi, who are at the top again today. 2-2, and that's the third time that Thomas has thrown a ball in the left-hand batter's box, and the count runs full.
And issuing a walk here to Reeder, not the end of the world. It does bring in some first, third potentials for the Saints offensively, but also could bring in some double play opportunities defensively for the Bombers.
Swung on and missed strike 3. Ryder goes after the fastball and cannot catch up. He is out number 2. Second strikeout for Ryder. The first strikeout of the day for Thomas, and now 2 gone for Mangini.
Yeah, Thomas now in back-to-back batters, getting unproductive outs with a runner on third base. Let up a double and a walk that would score on the triple from Zach Light, but then has done a good job in responding to that and getting 2 outs.
Martin and Harrison will go back to their natural positions, and now taking off for the plate is Light. He is in there as the ball kicks away from Towning. And the announcer's jinx strikes again. Just as I mentioned, Towning was terrific behind the plate. The ball gets away from him, and the Saints do indeed get Light home from third, a 3 spot in the fifth, and they lead the Bombers 7-1. So the base running aggressiveness really coming back to pay dividends for the Saints this inning. They had the hustle double from Flores. He took third on what was ruled a pass ball. Mangini swings and misses, and it's 1-1. Then they had the triple from Light, and after King and Ryder could not bring him in with no outs and 1 out respectively, he swipes home on the pass ball, wild pitch, whatever it'll be ruled, with Mangini up at the plate.
Officially ruled as a pass ball, second time this inning. That's been a pass ball from Dylan Towning behind the dish for the Bombers. This one resulting in a run. Both of them technically resulting in runs, although the first one didn't matter necessarily as the run scored on a triple and would have scored either way.
1-2. Mangini grounds it left side. It's taken by the shortstop Martin, who throws on the run. Nice play from Dylan Martin to get Mangini for the third out of the inning, but not before the damage has been done. Saints get 3 in the bottom half of the fifth and lead the Bombers 7-1. Edwin Segovia's day is done. He goes 5 innings, gives up 1 run, and leaves in line for the win as the Saints lead the Barons 7-1 as we head to the top of the 6th. New pitcher for the Saints is Angel Escobar against the 2-3-4 of the Bombers order.
Yeah, really quality start from Edwin Segovia. Like you mentioned, going 5 innings, giving up 5 hits with a walk and a strikeout, but just 1 earned run, and does put himself in line for the win, which is a huge, pretty lengthy start here for the Arroyo Seco Saints, and doing a great job at limiting this Bombers offense to pass the baton now off to Escobar.
Escobar drops in the breaking ball for strike 1 against Jet Grossert, who is 0 for 1 with a walk. Bombers have a lot of work to do here, with 12 defensive outs left to get for the Saints. San Diego trails by 6. Escobar, a slider, a curveball, and the fastball, but he uses the slider and the curveball combined 76% of the time. So a lot of off-speed from the Saints righty. Grossert lines it back up the middle and into center field, a base hit. Off the end of the bat, but unable to get to it is Robinette as it drops down in center field ahead of Evan Ryder, and a leadoff single for Jet Grossert in the 6th.
Not too much worry so far for Escobar up on the mound. So far this summer, with 5 appearances and 4 1/3 innings pitched, ERA at 6.23, went scoreless his first 3 outings, which totaled 2 1/3 innings, giving up no runs on just 2 hits with 4 strikeouts.
First pitch swinging is Finelli, pops it up left side. Mangini into foul ground, makes the play for the first out. Escobar induces the pop-up and gets Finelli, who has hit the only home run on the year for San Diego, to get under it and pop out to Mangini. 1 on and 1 out for Jeremy Jones. Escobar has been one of the most used relievers so far for Aaron Milam, making his 6th appearance here on the 23rd of June. First pitch to Jones, who swings and grounds it foul down the first baseline, 0-1.
Gonna have to keep that same approach is Escobar. Just induce the ground ball there, albeit foul. But Jeremy Jones already with a ball hit over to first base. That was that cool double play turned by Zach Light on his own, getting the line out and then tagging first for 2 gone.
Jones is 0 for 2. He flew out to left in the first inning. That was right as we came back on the air from the technical difficulties we were experiencing. Again, we apologize for any of the action you might have missed. Outside corner, 1-2.
Using that breaking ball a lot so far is Escobar, similar to what we saw out of the starter for the Bombers, and that being Sage Nelson. He was favoring that breaking ball a lot until he left with some discomfort again. Hoping he's all right, but using that breaking pitch a lot so far is Escobar.
Mishiwa held the glove but didn't get the call from the home plate umpire. And the count is even 2-2 on the right fielder, Jeremy Jones. Popped up again, right side. Robinette over into short right field to make the play for the second out. And so after allowing a leadoff single to Jet Grossert to begin the inning, Escobar has retired the next 2 hitters via the pop-out. Got Finelli to pop out to third, and now Jones pops out to Robinette for the second out. So a runner at first base with 2 outs for Aiden Harrison, who's 2 for 2 on the day. He's driven in the only Bombers run, an RBI double in the 4th. Pops it up as well, back of home plate, and out of play as it bounces about 6 feet behind us. Grossert at first. And Harrison leaves the 0-1 in the dirt. Only about 10 days till the CCL All-Star game. Braden Flores almost certainly on his way there. We'll wait to see which other Saints will make the cut. Escobar certainly has made a case for himself with how he's pitched so far this season. He is a strike away from a clean top of the 6th inning. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitch. Jackson Summers, who's 0 for 2, is on deck for San Diego. Deuce is wild here in the 6th. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Escobar gets him on the breaking ball to end the inning. And after allowing the leadoff single, he retires the next 3 men up for San Diego to the bottom of the 6th.
All right, hello and welcome everyone live from Jackie Robinson Field here in Pasadena. Evan Davis joined alongside Adam Beck, and it's the home opener for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Looks like it will hit into the gap. Yes, it will, and it will score a run off the glove of Pollock. That will score 2. It's quickly 4-0 top of the 1st inning for the Oaks. 3-1 offering, low and away for ball 4, and that will bring in the first run of the games outside, ball 4. Fisher stumbling off the mound. Saints just finding any way possible to get some runs, and they've now walked in 2 with the Saints as a pass ball gets away. 5-2 lead for the Oaks. 2-1 offering, that one down the 3rd base. Beltowski will fire that one across. And 1 out now, but the runners advance to now be 5-3. First and second as they connect again. Carrillo did get a great read on that, and it's over his head. Ground roll double, and this game is tied. The 1-1 offering is connected on. That's in the left field, and that'll do it. The Saints come back.
Immel, Robinette, and Nishiwa in the bottom of the 6th inning for the Saints against Wyatt Thomas, who, despite giving up the 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th, is back out there. Bombers looking for length. They've got a couple of games over the next couple of days, and will want to have as much of their pitching staff available as possible. Saints play tomorrow as well on the road in Compton. First pitch of that one at 6:05 against the Barons. Saints and Barons have played twice already this year. They are scheduled to play 3 more times after tomorrow. Those 2 teams will see each other 6 times this year. That's lined back up the middle, a base hit for Dylan Immel. First hit of the day for the Saints shortstop, and he's on to start the 6th ahead of Robinette. Well, Saints and Barons tomorrow again, 6:05, the first pitch in Compton, as the Saints will go back on the road after playing 4 straight home games. And then they've got Thursday off before a 3-game set in SLO against the Blues, who lead the CCL North at 14-4. They've got the 2nd best record in all of the CCL, trailing only the Foresters, who are 13-1. Thomas comes home, and strike 2. Robinette checked his swing, but no appeal was necessary. The pitch was over the plate. And Robinette, the Saints' second baseman today, is down no balls and 2 strikes to Wyatt Thomas. Saints and Bombers in 2 games so far this season. They have been certainly entertaining. The Saints, their first road game of the season, beat the Bombers 6-5 in Compton 3 weeks ago. Check over to first, and back safely with a head-first slide is Immel. And then 2 weeks ago Friday, the Saints led the Bombers 10-5 in the 9th inning and blew the game. Griffin Rogers gave up 7 earned runs in the top of the inning, and the Bombers got the win. This one's flexed into right field, down, a fair ball. Immel will cut the bag. Robinette with the wide turn will go back to first. As Immel winds up at third, Back-to-back hits to begin the sixth for the Saints, and they've got him cornered for Nick Nishiwa.
Yeah, and again, another runners on the corners with nobody out situation. It worked out last time in their favor, scoring 2 on a triple from Zach Light, but again, could see some first and third shenanigans here.
Nishiwa is 0 for 1. He did walk and come around to score in the third inning, but struck out in the fourth as Riley Plummer got him swinging. First pitch from Thomas. Nope, check over to first, and Robinette back safely. Again, since Saints at 4-9 trail the Barons and the Oaks by 2 games in the standings, but can be made up very easily in the span of a week. Once they get through this series with SLO this weekend, though, the schedule will get a lot easier. Only a couple of games against the Foresters and the Riptide the rest of the way, and every other game one the Saints will close to be favored in. Robinette takes off towards second, and he is safe. Ball comes out. Dylan Towning was this close to throwing out a 4th consecutive base runner, but Dylan Martin could not secure the ball at second base, and Robinette is safe.
Yeah, Towning had him dead in the water. Just the tag applied, and the ball popped out. It's simple as that. And Towning did his job, but unfortunately couldn't get the out to show for it.
Bombers, despite the 6-run deficit, leaving the infield back as Nishiwa takes the breaking ball over the outside corner, 2-1. Saints got 4 in the third. The highlight, the 2-run shot from Cannon King. The Bombers got a run back in the fourth on the RBI double from Aiden Harrison. And the Saints got 3 more in the bottom of the sixth. The 2 RBI triple from Zach Light, the highlight of that one. It's now 3-1 on Nick Nishiwa. And Braden Flores, whose eyes pop out of his skull every time he's got runners in scoring position, is on deck.
Yeah, and right there, Towning having to call a quick mound meeting with his pitcher and Wyatt Thomas. Towning got a little crossed up there on that last pitch, was expecting an off-speed, but got a fastball at the top of the zone. You can kind of see a late reaction from him on that pitch.
3-1, Nishiwa swings away, broken back ground ball to second for Harrison. Throw to first is wide, it pulls the runner off the bag, but he kept the foot on just in time. Nice play from Dwyer to keep his right foot on first base to record the out of Nishiwa. Run comes in through the back door, it's Dylan Immel, and the Saints have scored in 3 of the last 4 innings, now 8-1, with Robinette on third and Flores coming up.
Yeah, and ultimately for Nishiwa, not the most ideal way to do it, but you do get your job done. You score at least 1 run, and you extend that lead.
So the Saints, who have been involved in so many close back-and-forth games so far this season, are thankful so far for this one. They scored first, and they've led from the third to where we are now in the sixth. Infield comes in for Flores, who again, 15 runs driven in, tied for third in the entire CCL. He's only 2 off the league lead, which is 17.
You can see a huge shift on the pull side of Flores, playing heavy to that pull side. 3 infielders on that right side. Flores just got to shorten up, play a little pepper shooing right back at the shortstop.
It is an extreme shift. This is really quite ridiculous what we are seeing. It's almost they could almost fit a 4th defensive player in between first and second. 2-1. Flores does indeed ground it to the right side, but it's foul. Flores typically has pulled the ball to the right side of the infield. He flew out to center in his first at-bat, and the double that he had in the 5th was down the right field line.
That's definitely how they're gonna play Flores, but with 2 strikes, you just choke up an inch or so, and you shorten up. You just try and slap one right back up the middle. It'll be a free base hit.
Robinette at third base, and Flores goes the other way, down the left field line ahead. Robinette is in to score. Flores taking off for second base. He will get there standing. His second double in as many at-bats. He drives in his 16th run of the year, and the Saints take a 9-1 lead as Bryce Robinette comes in to score.
And you just execute to perfection there by Flores, shortening up, choking up, and just shooting one the other way in a defensive swing count. You got 2 strikes behind it. You just want to put a ball in play. And when a defense has that kind of shift on you, you're really emphasizing that oppo side, and that's exactly what he does. Completely beats the shift, and really satisfying piece of hitting there for Flores.
Bombers brought 3 to the right side, and Flores burned him. The double down the left field line. And the Saints have scored multiple runs in 3 of their last 4 offensive half innings. 4 in the 3rd, 3 in the 5th, and now 2 in the bank in the 6th, with Flores still at second base and 1 out for Carson Panarisi, who was looking for his first hit of the day. He is one of only 2 Saints who have not recorded a hit so far in this game. It's him and Nick Nishiwa, who's down in the 9-hole.
Yeah, Panarisi so far hitless, but still reaching base twice in the first inning via an error and in the 5th inning via a walk. Would come around to score on that one as well.
Everybody's been on for the Saints today, and doing it against the Bombers team that has really struggled to prevent runs this season. Panarisi late on the breaking ball, fouls it back, and it's 2-1. In the dirt, 3-1. Zach Light, who drove in 2 runs with a triple last time, is on deck. And then it's Cannon King, who has homered and made a nice defensive play in this game. Saints getting some good signs everywhere all across the diamond as they look to snap a 3-game losing skid from last week.
Yeah, and so far this shaping up to be the game to do so, and a big one as well. Up by 8, and it's kind of just a feel-good win at this point, assuming the scoreboard remains relatively the same for the Saints. Things clicking on all cylinders so far today.
3-2 to Panarisi. It bounces in front of home plate for ball 4. So the second walk in as many plate appearances for Carson, and now first and second with 1 out for Zach Late.
And for the Bombers now, this is not the guy you want to see with 2 runners on base. As the last time he came up, he also had 2 runners on base, knocked them both in with a triple.
Light has been on all 3 times today. He scored 2 runs. And in his first week of getting playing time for the Saints has really risen to the moment. No signs of struggling or adapting to his new teammates whatsoever. Lines this one to left center field. That's down, a base hit. Flores will cut the bag. Throw to the plate is in time. Summers throws out Flores trying to score. And Flores is the second out of the inning as Summers cuts him down at home plate. Flores out by a good 15 feet right there, and now situation first and second with 2 outs for Cannon King.
Yeah, what an absolute seed by Jackson Summers out there in center field. Ball got to him in a hurry, just on 1 hop. He was able to get it with the glove. Took a little bit of a kick to his left, but he regathered his momentum. Came up firing and threw an absolute strike to Towning to gun down Flores by a good couple of steps.
2 on and 2 out for King, who was 1 for 3 with the home run. Saints have already broken the dam, but King looking to open the floodgates here in the 6th. Saints with a 9-1 advantage over the Bombers. In what has been almost a must-win game for the Saints, coming off 3 losses to 2 really good teams. Back-to-back defeats against the Foresters on Friday and Saturday, and then they fell in a back-and-forth affair to Conejo on Sunday. Got the day off Monday. It's the league-wide off day in the CCL, and looking to respond here on Tuesday, and they've done so far against the Bombers. 9 runs for the Saints as they lead San Diego 9-1 in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Panarisi at second, Light at first. Wyatt Thomas with a 2-1, and Cannon King takes strike 2. Breaking ball on the inside corner. So deuce is really wild here in the 6th for Arroyo Seco. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on, and 2 runs in the bank. Here's the pitch. King spoils it. We'll do it again. Evan Ryder is on deck. Just off the outside corner, and now the count is full. Runners will get a head start. Light from first, Panarisi from second. Here's a payoff. King pops it up. Left side of the diamonds. And if it comes down, he's out. Making the catch at shortstop is Dylan Martin to end the inning. But not before the Saints get 2 more. 9-1 Arroyo Seco as we head to the 7th. Summers, Dwyer, Towning coming up in the top of the 7th for the Bombers, 6-7-8 as they trail the Saints 9-1. And as we head to the top of the 7th, I will hand the play-by-play back over to my broadcast partner, Riley Horn. Riley?
Thank you, Max. Riley Horn here alongside Max Langer. And on behalf of our broadcast producer, Luke Saruma, thank you for tuning in here on the Saints Streaming Network for the action between the Arroyo Seco Saints and the San Diego Bombers. First pitch swinging is Jackson Summers against a new reliever for Arroyo Seco. It's Daniel Vergara.
Yeah, Vergara just got here today to the Saints, a player that they had not seen so far, and Aaron Milam opting to go with him. Comes out of Echo Park, California, and making the appearance here with his team up 9-1. So a lower leverage spot for Vergara as the Saints look to see what he's got against the Bombers here today.
Making his Saints debut here this summer, quickly ahead 0-2 of Summers here in the top of the 7th. Been a really strong day so far for the Saints pitching staff. That one's fought off by Summers. Only one run given up that came back in the 4th inning. In that 4th inning, 5 batters faced. That's the most offensive batters that the Bombers have had up in a single inning up to this point. Since then, it's been no more. Got a couple innings facing just 4 batters, couple 3 up, 3 downs as well. And on the pitching side, it's been really strong for Arroyo Seco today as this one's in the air to center field. Reeder coming in, makes the grab for out number 1.
Well, the Saints pitching staff has done a really good job, and I think part of it has to be attributed to the fact that they just faced 2 really good offensive teams in the Foresters and the Oaks, and now going up against the Bombers lineup again. These guys haven't played in 9 days. Obviously, they're fresh, but there's also got to be some. Baseball is one of those sports where you need to play consistently. You need to be on the field getting at bats so often in order to stay in rhythm, and I think it's benefited the Saints from a pitching standpoint in this one.
Vergara's first pitch in there for a called strike against a pinch hitter, which looks like might be Royce Davis for the San Diego Bombers. Can't quite make out the number on the back of that jersey, but I believe it's 33. Which would lead me to say Royce Davis according to the Bombers roster sheet. 0-1, that one down low, getting all the way to the backstop.
Well, let's see. We'll go with Royce Davis for now, and if we see him turn around, 33, bang.
Bingo.
Riley Horn from deep, and he knocks it down.
Bingo.
So it is Royce Davis pinch hitting for Gannon Dwyer. Davis is a career outfielder, but Dwyer at first base today, so unless the Bombers shake up the lineup card when they go back out to play defense in the bottom of the 7th, it'll be Davis taking over at first base for Dwyer.
Davis, just 4 games played so far this summer, batting average at 182 with 3 RBIs. Really strong game against the Academy Barons back on June 9th. Went 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs and a walk. One of those 2 hits being a double as well. Really strong day for him. Since then, been a little bit quieter, but he's looking to turn that around here and try and spark something for the Bombers down 8 here in the 7th. Big swing and a miss on the 3-1. Count goes full. Gannon Dwyer, who's now getting his spot pinch hit for by Royce Davis. 0 for 2 with a ground out and a line out. Royce Davis in a deep at bat here against the new reliever Vergara. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Davis down swinging.
Yeah, Dwyer had some good at-bats. Hit the ball really hard in the 2nd, but we saw the pick from Robinette, and they pinch hit for him here. And Davis goes down via the K, so far very successful first outing on the mound for Vergara.
Yeah, speaking of successful outings, both Edwin Segovia, the Saints starter, and Angel Escobar, the first arm out of the pen for the Saints, with really strong appearances today. As up steps Dylan Towning, the catcher for the San Diego Bombers. First pitch behind him. But Segovia, starting things off, went 5 innings, 5 hits, giving up just 1 earned run with 1 walk and 1 strikeout. He's in line for the win, assuming the score remains in the favor of the Saints. And then Angel Escobar coming out of the pen, first arm, went just 1 inning, gave up no runs with no walks, 1 hit and 1 strikeout. 1-0 pitch to Towning. That one downstairs, 2-0.
Yeah, and I think it's important that we mention that even though we've acknowledged that the Bombers aren't the same rate of caliber of a team like Santa Barbara, who is pulling guys from, the SEC and Arkansas and players who've been drafted by major league organizations, or the Riptide, who have one of the best offenses in the league, and players who come from all over the world.
This one on the ground, easy play for Robinette, who gets the put out. 3 up, 3 down in Daniel Vergara's Saints debut. We head Saints still up by 8. We'll stretch it out here at Pasadena and be back right after this.
I seem a little bit distracted, like I'm in another place and another time. Well, I apologize for the way I'm acting. I just got a lot of loving you on my mind. Ever since there's a morning, I've been wondering how you do that thing you did last night. Well, let me tell
Legs have been stretched, heading to the bottom of the 7th. Arroyo Seco Saints up by 8 runs for Evan Reeder, Owen Mangini, Dylan Immel. The 3-2 up against the new arm for the San Diego Bombers. It's Aaron Mingo.
Yeah, Mingo is a two-way guy for San Diego. He's got 16 plate appearances on the year, 2 2/3 innings on the mound, and gets another appearance here with the Bombers trailing by 8.
Gonna look to have a good outing here, try and knock off as many offensive executions as they can for Arroyo Seco Saints with
I like
9
that,
runs.
by the way. Offensive executions, just rolls right off the tongue. Very nice.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's not what I was intending to say
Oh,
initially. That's
okay.
just kind of what came out. But if you like it,
I
I'll
think you should
take
stick with it.
Nice. First pitch getting all the way to the backstop to Evan Reeder. Yeah, Saints putting together a really strong offensive day so far. 9 runs already plated through 6 innings, and could be more. 4 left on base and 4 outs on the base paths as well. Braden Flores gunned down at the plate at the hands of Jackson Summers in center field last inning, and a handful of Saints base runners caught stealing via the right arm of Dylan Towning behind the dish, who's done a great job both offensively and defensively tonight for the Bombers. Big hack on the 1-1. Count goes 1-2. One-two pitch, elevated fastball, swing and a miss for out number 1.
Yeah, third time today that Ryder has gone down on strikeouts, all of them swinging. Did single back in the third, but Evan Ryder in a little bit of a struggle here, a slump. Since he started the lineup, or the year rather, batting at the top of the lineup, he's dropped to 5th and struck out 3 times so far today. But again, the CCL and summer ball about getting playing time. They're going to keep running Evan out there, and he is a very good defensive player. And we saw what he can do at the plate at the beginning of the year.
Up steps Owen Mangini, who takes strike 1. Mangini with a hit already today, one of the victims of the caught stealings by Dylan Towning. Fly out and a ground out in his other 2 plate appearances as well. Count now goes 0-2. Quick defensive change in the field for the Bombers as well. Taking the spot of Gannon Dwyer at first base is Royce Davis, who checked in as a pinch hitter last half inning in that spot. So he'll stay out there with the trap over at first. As a 3-pitch strikeout of Owen Mangini puts 2 outs on the inning. So now Dylan Immel singled his last time up, came around to score as well, walking a flyout as his day so far. First offering upstairs, laying off of it is Immel, and Mingo on the mound really been favoring that high fastball so far, and it's worked to his favor. He's got 2 strikeouts already in this half inning. Came in at the start of this half inning to take the mound from Wyatt Thomas, who was used as the second reliever out of the pen for the Bombers. Game was started by Sage Nelson, went 2 1/3 innings, gave up 1 unearned run on 1 hit with 2 walks and a strikeout. He left the game with some arm discomfort. In came Riley Plummer, went an inning and 2/3, gave up 3 unearned runs on 2 hits with 3 strikeouts and 2 walks. As this one's lifted into left field for Fanelli, shading over, laying out, and unable to make the grab. Up to second base goes Immel. He will coast in there with a double.
Well, Mingo throws the fastball 74% of the time to hitters, and when you throw a pitch that much, eventually you can sit on it. That's what Immel did, just missed it, but unable to make the play as Fanelli. Just really tough play towards the line there, moving to his right into the slide. Saints, another reason why they're up 9-1 is that they have been much cleaner and better defensively than the Bombers, despite the amount of times they've been thrown out behind the plate by Dylan Towning.
So now Bryce Robinette with a runner on second base and 2 outs after the 2-out double from Dylan Immel. Mingo's offering is a chopper to short. Martin over to first in time to retire the side. 2 strikeouts and a ground out for Aaron Mingo. Leaves a base runner stranded as well here in the bottom of the 7th. As we head to the 8th, Saints still up by 8 here on the Saints streaming network.
Bullets may fly round, but I lay down. I feel safe and sound on solid ground.
Okay, yeah. They can't hold me. All that pressure weighing on my brain. I confess I front like I don't feel a thing. Still ain't maintain, running from the old me. Every time I drop a tune, they try to tell me. 4 stars, they don't wanna see none. Tryna beat one, that might get you beat stung. Lie without, that's when the fleas come.
Here in the top of the 8th inning, Saints ahead by 8 runs as we head to the final 2 frames. Still on the mound, Daniel Vergara in his Saints debut. Went a clean 3-up, 3-down inning last frame with 1 strikeout, a ground out, and a flyout as well. Now up steps a pinch hitter in the designated hitter spot for Isaac Castanon is Nathaniel Shoemaker.
Yeah, Shoemaker, 6'2", out of Tucson, Arizona. A number of guys on this Bombers roster come out of Tucson.
Gannon Dwyer, one of those guys from Tucson. He started this game at first base and then was pinch hit for by Royce Davis. This one in the air, shallow center field. Going back on it, Robinette, and he makes the grab. Leaping catch in shallow center field from the Saints second baseman.
Man, Bryce Robinette has been everywhere defensively today. We talked about the pick he made in the second inning when Gannon Dwyer drilled the ball over there. That was a spectacular defensive play. This one, impressive as well, running towards shallow center field and making a leaping catch to rob the pinch hitter Shoemaker of a base hit to lead off the eighth. And Robinette at second base has certainly worked out in the Saints' favor today. He has been brilliant over there.
Back up to the top of the order, line drive past Robinette there in second base for a base hit. As rounding first base is Dylan Martin with his second single of the day.
Well, Robinette is very good, but he's not Superman, so cannot fly and catch that one. Good swing right there from Martin's second hit of the day for the Bombers' leadoff man. Again, in a 9-1 situation, the only thing you don't want to do is give away free base runners and make the other team beat you and get runs by putting the bat on the ball and letting your fielders behind you make plays, which is what Robinette did to get the first out of the inning.
Just the first hit allowed by Daniel Vergara here in his Saints debut tonight. We have another pinch hitter for the San Diego Bombers. And it looks like taking the spot of Jet Grossert in the 2-hole is going to be Aiden Capel. Two balls and no strikes the count here with one out and a runner on first base in the top of the 8th inning. Grossert getting his spot replaced by Capel. Grossert on the day, 3 plate appearances, had a single his last time up in the 6th inning. Walked in the 4th, would come around to score so far the one and only run of the day for the Bombers, and he flew out his first time up as well. As getting in the strike zone there is Vergara. 2-1 the count. Another pickoff attempt, and once again back safely is Martin. 3-1 the count to the hitter, Capel. Looks like another pinch hitter going to be used for the Bombers on deck, and the spot of Gianluca Finelli is McNear as that one's hit up the middle. Tag at second, over to first in time for the twin killing to end the half inning. 2 gone with 1 swing of the bat as we head to the bottom of the 8th here in Pasadena.
Today we're going to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena to see if anybody's coming to the Saints game tonight.
You guys like baseball? Well, we have a game over there. They're Royal Seco Saints for Pasadena. It's at Jackie Robinson Memorial Field. Come and watch it at 6 p.m.
Thank you. Baseball, yeah, sure. Yeah? A baseball game, Arroyo Seco.
Yeah!
Where's that?
Jackie Robinson Field.
Oh, I know that.
So you like baseball?
Nah, not really. I'm just really.
Fair enough.
honest with you.
You guys okay?
A baseball game?
Yeah. We got a baseball game happening at the Jackie Robinson Field at 4:30.
Yeah, we'll come out for sure.
For sure, okay.
We'll be there.
Yeah, go Saints, go
We're going that
Saints.
way.
Bottom of the 8th, 9-1, still our score as Nick Nishiwa is going to lead off things here in the home half of the 8th inning. And then in the on-deck circle, looks like we got a pinch hitter taking the spot in the designated hitter role. Is going to be Wyatt Toth, who's now going to make his way to the batter's box. His first pitch catches a piece of Nick Nishiwa.
Yeah, never good to get hit. It's even worse when you're in a 9-1 game. That'll do it for Nishiwa down to first base here, second time he's been on. Would imagine that Camden Andrews will catch on the road tomorrow in Compton, so the Saints going to leave Nishiwa in there for the rest of this one. And interesting that Flores is out of the game here. Not good. That's basically anybody but Flores is. Yeah, not good for the Saints if Flores is hurt. Hopefully just getting him off his feet here since he's played a lot. He is DHing today. Maybe there was something on that play at the plate where he was thrown out. But, again, just going to hope that that is either precautionary or just simply getting Flores some rest, who has basically been an everyday player in a league where there are traditionally not everyday players.
Yeah, I'm going to imagine this is kind of that combination of get Toth in at bat, give Flores some time to catch his breath, you know, keep him healthy and get other guys active as well, as Toth not getting much to swing at here in a 3-0 count and a 4-pitch walk to put 2 runners on.
So a good 7th inning for Mingo. He struck out 2 in a scoreless inning, but here in the 8th, he has hit Nishiwa on the first pitch and then a 4-pitch walk to the pinch hitter, Toth. And now Panarisi, who is, other than Nishiwa, the only hitter in the Saints lineup not with a hit yet today, looking for one with 2 on and nobody out.
Strike called on the first offering. Defensive change here for the San Diego Bombers. Taking the spot behind the plate of Dylan Towning is Jordan Baines. Getting some action here tonight as a really strong day, both offensively and defensively. Dylan Towning was having, but he's going to get some time off, catch his breath the rest of this one, and let Baines take over.
Yeah, Bombers making a lot of changes here in the later innings. Again, 9-1 game. They haven't played in 9 days, and you've got some more games coming up. You want to have as many people as possible ready for those games, and getting more of your hitters and guys into these games just to even get on their feet from a defensive standpoint is probably a pretty good strategy.
Aaron Mingo's 3rd strikeout of the appearance. It's Carson Panarisi down. Now up steps Zach Late. He's having a really strong day at the plate so far today. Triple, single, walk, and a reach on error on base all 4 times as he lifts this one sky high to right. Jeremy Jones getting underneath it, sizing it up, makes the grab. Tagging up at second base is Nishiwa. Throw in, but not in time. Up to third base goes Nishiwa, runners on the corners.
Well, you can see why so quickly Aaron Milam has put Zach Late into the middle of his order. And despite the flyout right there, he has swung the bat really well today and in his first week with the Saints. Just got under that one. It was a fastball over the heart of the plate. Late missed it, but a good swing, just didn't get the entire barrel to it and under it, but does advance Nishiwa to third, and the Saints are 90 feet away from getting Nishiwa home and getting to double digits here on this Tuesday.
Cleanup hitter Cannon King. Runners on the corners and 2 outs. Saints in a little bit of a better position here as opposed to last half inning after a 2-out double from Dylan Immel, but he was left stranded. Now they got runners on the corners with 2 outs. Started with 2 runners on and nobody out, but a strikeout and a flyout gets them on the corners and gives an opportunity to Cannon King to knock him in.
And the clouds right now surrounding the stadium, absolutely beautiful as the sun goes down. You know the song by, I know we're both country fans. You know Pink Skies, the song? That's what we're looking at right now.
Yes, we are. Really good view here, and not sure if our camera can fully do it justice behind home plate, but all around the ballpark as well, not just out past center field. Pink clouds, blue skies behind them. There was a rainbow over down the first base line in between innings. Not sure where that went off to, but hopefully somebody got the pot of gold at the end of it.
If only.
3-1 to Cannon King with runners on the corners. Caught strike on the inner edge. Count goes full. Going to be in motion at first base is Wyatt Toth, who checked in as a pinch hitter this half inning. Nick Nishiwa going to stay put for the time being, at least on the pitch. He's over at third base. Payoff pitch, swung on and missed. Picking up now his 4th strikeout in just 2 innings is Aaron Mingo to retire the side here in the 8th. But we head to the final frame. Saints ahead by 8. Final frame here in Pasadena, 9-1 our score in favor of the Arroyo Seco Saints. Pinch hitter to lead off the 9th inning, Drew McNear against the new arm on the mound, the first lefty used for either side today in Griffin Rogers.
Yeah, Rogers has been really good so far on the year. The ERA is spiked up because of the blown lead in the 9th inning a couple of weeks ago, but other than that, this guy has been nails. Closed out the game against Orange County on Wednesday. And last Friday against Santa Barbara, used in a bit of a different spot by Aaron Milam as he sails this one to the backstop. Used in the 3rd inning against the Foresters there. I actually liked the play, try to shorten the game against a Foresters team that really difficult to hold at bay. And they went with Rogers in the 3rd when they were up 4-3. And he held it there for a minute, but did not work out as the Foresters came back to beat the Saints in that one. A final of 13-9.
Big swing on the 2-0, but coming up empty is Drew McNear, who was lined up to pinch hit for Gianluca Finelli last inning, but after the spot right ahead of him made the 3rd out, he had to retreat back. So maybe used as a defensive substitution out in left field, and now getting his first at-bat is Drew McNear. He is listed as an outfielder, so that would make a little bit of sense if he checked in as a defensive substitution first. But either way, Bombers using a lot of substitutions here in the later portion of this game as the 2-2 pitch sails high and away. It's now a 3-2 count. Rogers with the payoff pitch. It's inside. That's ball 4. Drew McNear reaching base here in the 9th.
Well, Saints tomorrow are in Compton against the Barons. That's a big game as those two teams likely will be fighting for a spot in the playoffs. 6:05 the first pitch at the MLB Academy between the Saints and the Barons. And the Bombers on the road tomorrow as well. They'll head up to Irvine and to Great Park, or I guess down to Irvine geographically. Beautiful stadium there at Orange County. It's a beautiful complex. In Irvine, the Bombers will play the Riptide and then got the day off Thursday before they are at Academy on Friday.
Big swing from Jeremy Jones, 0-1. You were kind of right on both ends there. Geographically, it's down to Irvine from here, but up to Irvine for the San Diego Bombers, who call San Diego their home. So kind of goes both ways, I guess.
Yeah, I guess technically it's up since the Bombers will not be staying in Pasadena. They will, after the game, I presume, be heading back down to the San Diego metro area, the 305 zip code, and then making the trek to Orange County tomorrow.
1-1, down low. Stopped by Nishiwa behind the plate. And Nishiwa and Cam Andrews really splitting time behind the dish so far this season, but at least on games I've called, this is the first time I've seen Nishiwa in action. Every game that I've called up to this point has been Andrews. So it's been fun to see a new face in that lineup for the Saints, even though he's been in there around half the season. Checked his swing. Appeal says he went around, so the count goes 2-2 to Jeremy Jones.
Take a look at some of the other scores around the CCL today. Conejo beat the Philippines Baseball Group 15-9, that game in Ventura. Helping out the Saints were the Forsters. They beat the Barons 2-1. So the Barons now on a 3-game losing streak.
That one hits off the glove of Nishiwa. He had no idea where it went, but wasn't far enough in the opinion of Drew McNear to try and take second base, so he stays put. The count goes full.
Yeah, well, McNear actually started toward second and then slipped in the dirt and had to retrieve toward first base. And again, you're down 8 runs. I don't know if it's the wisest idea to gamble the extra 90 feet here in the 9th with nobody out, but 3-2 regardless.
That one getting a piece of the elbow of Jeremy Jones, so if it wasn't far enough in to draw the walk, it's far enough in for the hit by pitch to put 2 runners on with nobody out.
We'll have a pitching coach go out and talk to Rogers right here, who, despite the success by and large, has really struggled with command so far this season. He's walked the first 2 hitters that he's faced so far. The other scores around the league, again, the Foresters beat the Barons 2-1. That will make Saints fans happy. 9-1 here in the 9th. It's 2-1 Blues in the top of the 7th, playing Alameda. San Francisco leads Menlo Park 11-3. And the Riptide in Orange County are on top of the Waves 3-0. So almost, if all the scores stand, it will be a chalk schedule. Every team ahead in the standings will have emerged victorious here on this Tuesday. Again, tomorrow on Wednesday, these two teams, the Bombers in Orange County at 7, the Saints in Compton at 6:05.
Up steps Aiden Harrison with 2 on and nobody out. The southpaw Rogers comes set, takes a couple looks back and delivers. This one a called strike in there ahead of Harrison. Yeah, Saints playing tomorrow down in Compton, then taking the weekend road trip up to San Luis Obispo to play at Sinsheimer Park against the Slow Blues. Strong team in the CCL standings in general, but in the CCL North especially. Check swing went around, says the home plate umpire. We go 0-2 to Harrison. And the Blues up there in San Luis Obispo, they do a great job of putting together a show on each and every game. They got, the in-between inning entertainment. They draw pretty big crowds there as well, up into the hundreds, if not the thousands of people taking a summer night to watch a college summer baseball game. As that one's high and away. That's kind of what happens at San Luis Obispo. There's not much baseball to be had up there apart from, obviously, the local Cal Poly slow. Here in Pasadena in the LA area, if you want to watch a really strong baseball game, you go 15 minutes down the road and you're at Dodger Stadium. You go, an hour inland-ish, a little bit south as well, and you're at Angel Stadium. So there's a lot more baseball to be had down here in Southern California, as that one's a called strike 3 at the knees of Harrison for out number 1.
Nice bounce back from Rogers after walking the first 2 hitters. Pitching coach comes out, says something to him that gets the gears turning, and strikes out the next guy in Harrison.
2 still on base for the Bombers. They're going to need a lot of offensive work here in the 9th inning, chasing 8 just to extend this one. Rogers deals the first pitch and gets a swing and a miss of Jackson Summers.
Summers 0 for 3 on the day. Grounded into a double play in the second. He grounded to Dylan Emily in the 4th, and then flew out to Evan Reiter in the 7th.
Oh, 1 from Rogers. Down in the dirt. Holding back the hands was Summers. Count evens up. One pitch. Now 1-2.
Well, this is exactly what the Saints needed, Riley, was a quicker game, an easier victory against a team that they're much better than. No stress. Last time they played the Bombers, 25 runs scored. It was back and forth in that game, and this very much a recipe for success.
Called strike 3 on the inner edge for out number 2. Walk and a hit by pitch, then back-to-back strikeouts looking for Griffin Rogers.
Saints are going to move to 5-9 on the year. And, man, tomorrow is a really big game. I mean, every game is big, but tomorrow is one that is not going to determine whether they get in or not, but would really help the Saints' playoff push if they could beat Compton or beat the Barons in Compton, and would really put them a step back behind the 8 ball if they lose.
Yeah, and you'd really love to carry a 2-game win streak up to San Luis Obispo to face another really strong team in the Blues.
Absolutely.
That one's down low. Obviously, assuming the score remains the same here with 2 outs, chasing 8 runs are the Bombers. Winning pitcher would be the starter in Edwin Segovia, who went 5 innings, gave up just 1 earned run, the only run so far for the Bombers. And then the bullpen for the Saints been really strong so far today. The pitching side of things has been doing incredible work for the Saints, which is really great to see, as the pitching staff hasn't been at their best throughout this first portion of the season. But this is a great game for them to look at themselves in the mirror and turn things around come the rest of the season. Only, a little over a week, right around a week and a half before the All-Star break in Reno, taking place on the weekend of July 4th. You'd really love to see a bounce back towards that second half of the season on all sides of the ball, as the Saints haven't necessarily had the start of this season they're looking for with a 4-9 record. Now, obviously, again, assuming the score remains relatively the same with 1 out to go, what will become a 5-9 record. Royce Davis in a 3-1 count, his second at-bat of the night after checking in as a pinch hitter for Gannon Dwyer. He swings and brings the count full, so now a full count, 2-out situation with 2 runners on base. It's Drew McNear on second, Jeremy Jones on first with 2 gone here in the top of the 9th. Royce Davis in his last at-bat struck out swinging on a full count. See what happens here against Griffin Rogers. Runners go, he deals, it's lifted into left field. Panarisi, a long run back. He camps underneath it, and he makes the putout to end the ball game. And again, we talked about this just moments ago, but the pitching side of things for Arroyo Seco been really strong today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you talk about the start that they got out of Evan Segovia. They had a couple of relievers come in. Escobar was very good. Vergara, in his first appearance of the year, really impressed. And even in the 9th, Griffin Rogers, after walking the first 2 guys, able to bounce back with a couple of Ks and gets the fly out to Paderisi to end the game. All out, it's a really good day for the Saints in terms of the 9 runs they've got from the offense. Everybody reached base. You had the home run from King, the 2-run triple from Late, and Flores played well as well. A couple of extra base hits for him. Everybody on base. Probably said that already, but the Saints did so many really good things on offense as well. And, of course, the pitching side. This type of game was exactly what they needed.
Yeah, just an all-around ball game for Arroyo Seco today. 10 hits, putting up 9 runs. The Bombers putting up 7 hits and just 1 run. And a really well-rounded game today for the Arroyo Seco Saints. A great win to put in the books to carry into tomorrow night down in Compton against the MLB Academy Barons. And you can catch all that action right here live on the Arroyo Seco Saints YouTube channel here on the Saints streaming network. But for tonight, that'll wrap things up here in Pasadena. 9-1 our final score. Saints taking down the San Diego Bombers. On behalf of everybody here and the Arroyo Seco Saints baseball organization, we thank you so much for tuning in. On behalf of our broadcast producer, Luke Saruma, and my broadcast partner, Max Langer, I'm Riley Horn signing off. Have a great rest of your night, folks.